guys. Today we are going to talk about symmetry. Symmetry is when something is the same on both sides. I have Larry's good friend Cookie the dog here, and Cookie's going to help me show you symmetry because he is symmetrical. We could imagine that we take a line and draw it right down the middle of Cookie's head and body. And then when we look at it, he's the same on both sides. So he has a brown circle around his eye on this side, and he has one on the other side too. He has an arm on the right side and an arm on the left side. He has a leg on the right side and a leg on the left side. He's really big. He's making it hard for me to do this. And we can see his hands are white on the tip on both sides. So he's the same on both sides. Today, we are going to be making symmetrical butterflies using lines and shapes and color if you have some color at home. All right, let's get started. So like I said, today we're going to be making symmetrical butterflies. These are some materials that you can use. You don't have to use all of them. You're going to need a pencil and you're going to need a piece of paper. If you don't have crayons or markers, that's okay because you can use the pencil to make lots of patterns and designs, or you can add colors with crayons, markers. You can also use watercolor paints if you would like to add some color over it, and then there's water if you're using watercolor paints. So to start with our symmetrical butterfly, we will start with the center of our butterfly and the body. To start your body, you could start with two vertical lines next to each other. Now we're going to give a little top and a bottom. I'm going to do a curvy line, like a rainbow line at the top, and then a curvy line at the bottom. Kind of looks like a hot dog. Now I want to add the wings. So in order to make the wings for my butterfly, I can use the number 3. See what a 3 looks like there? It's 2 bumps. So I'm going to go to one side first, and I'm going to do the number 3. Now on the other side, I can either do a backwards 3, or if that's a little weird to do, I can turn my butterfly upside down and I can do another number 3 over there. So now I've got my butterfly body and I have my 2 wings. They're pretty much the same shape. They're not exactly the same shape, and that's okay if it's not perfect. But we have the idea of it being symmetrical, the same on both sides. Now I'm going to add some patterns, some shapes, some lines, and some color to make my symmetrical butterfly. First, I'm going to start with eyes. So I'm going to do one eye on each side. We want to pretend that there's an imaginary line that goes down the middle of the butterfly, and we're going to try and make this side the same as that side, just like the way Cookie, my big stuffed dog, was the same on both sides. So I'm going to start with one eye and another eye. Maybe I'll put a circle in each one. Try and get them sort of in the same spots. Then I will give them a little smile, and I'm going to give antennas to my butterfly. And now I'm going to start to add some lines and shapes in my wings. So let's say I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. I'm going to put a big circle, because you know I love circles, in the top of that wing. Now if I do one on that side, I need to do one on the other side too. So I'm going to do a circle right on the top of that wing. Now beneath my circle, maybe I'll do a triangle. Now since I did a triangle under that circle, I'm going to do a triangle under this circle too. Maybe now I'm going to add some lines. I'll start with my favorite lines. I'm going to do a zigzag line. Since I did a zigzag line there with 2 hills, I'm going to do a zigzag line here with 2 hills. Underneath my zigzag line, maybe I'll do a curvy line. And now underneath this zigzag line, I'll do a curvy line. And maybe at the very bottom, I'm going to do one last circle on this side. So that means I'll do a circle on this side. I can also add a pattern inside my butterfly's body as long as it's the same on both sides. So if I just add some stripes, that's going to be the same since it's the same on both sides. Now if you guys have some color, you can add some color. Now as you add the color, you want to make them the same on both sides also. So if I color this circle purple, then I'm going to want to color this circle purple also. And if I color this triangle green, then I want to color this triangle green also until I continue to color everything. Here's one that I finished up this morning, and you can see my butterfly has the body. She has curvy antennas this time, but they're both curvy, so it's the same on both sides. And then I did my number 3 for a wing, my backwards number 3 on that side, 2 circles, a square, zigzag line, and 2 horizontal lines. And then I colored it in so the colors are the same on both sides. Now, if you wanted to add some paint to it, I could use my watercolor paints and my paintbrush. Now remember, when we use watercolor paints, we say our poem, water, paint, paper. So I can take my paintbrush, dip it in the water, dip it into a color of paint, and then I can add some paint to it. So if you guys have paints at home, you can add some paint to it, but if you don't have paints at home, that's okay. You guys use whatever materials you have around the house and have lots of fun making your symmetrical butterfly. See you next week.